Hi, I'm Bruce Bozzi Jr., fourth generation Palm restaurant. My great-grandfather Pio Bozzi and his partner John Ganzi started the restaurant in 1926 here in New York City and in this restaurant. Today I'm sitting here with my really dear friend Carole Radz, best-selling author, award-winning journalist, but most importantly, godmother to my daughter Ava. Hi.
So nice to be here.
Oh, cool. Here. Cheers. When was the first time you came to the Palm?
Oh my God, it was so long ago. You know what? I think it was my first boyfriend in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Billy LeBlanc. And he...
Billy LeBlanc.
Yeah.
All right.
And we came down, it was a big thing because we lived in upstate New York. This is a great date restaurant because it's really cozy.
Do you remember how we met?
Barry Diller's wedding.
Barry Diller's wedding,
to,
yes.
DBF.
Right.
And I was wearing, I'm thinking, green sparkle pants.
Yeah.
Sequined, right? You came over to me, and I didn't know you at all. We started talking, and then we started dancing.
Yeah, we started dancing.
We danced the entire night.
I know. We drank and danced.
Yeah.
And that was 12 years ago, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big...
That was the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
But you know, you once said something to me. I think that you are, one of the smartest people I know. And you said, you only regret the things you don't do in life. And so when you were talking about either joining the Bravo Housewives and all the fanfare that comes with that and all the questioning of why, it was like, you know what, why not?
Of course, my initial reaction was to say no, but then because it seemed so out of my depth and out of my experience. But that's where you learn the most. And I always say there's value in every experience, and I'll write about it someday, for sure. I mean, what did you used to do when you came here as a little boy?
We were living in Jackson Heights. My dad was working. My mom was raising the two of us. I have a sister, as you know. And as I got to be older and started to work, I worked one summer for the Palm and Palm 2. And then I was really working out in East Hampton. I worked in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
And I sort of hit all the Palms between
Love the East
18 and like 25. It's a good Palm.
Do you know that when I was married, Anthony and I had a house out in Bridgehampton, and every Friday we would drive out, and every single Friday for almost the whole 10 years that we had the house out there, before we even went to the house, we'd go to the Palm.
The Palm to me is a place where people literally, it's like going home. You wrote a memoir called What Remains.
Yeah.
And it was about your life and your relationship, and your husband passed away. And
my childhood, my crazy Italian family in upstate New York. Certainly if someone had told me when I was in my 20s at ABC News that I was going to write a book, I would have said, hell no, you're crazy. But it just came out of, I think, the grief I felt over losing my husband and my great friend Carolyn Bassett and cousin John. You tell stories in journalism, you're telling other people's stories. It's really hard to tell your own. But it was worth it, And it's funny because when you apply words to memories, it changes the original memory a little bit, but then it becomes what you write. It becomes what happened. Like I wanted to get the memories down on page because I was afraid that I was going to lose them. When I was 80. Oh yeah, my favorite pasta. And my chicken parm.
Thank you, sir.
That's perfect. Bruce, if you didn't get into the restaurant business, because you're a family-owned business, what would you have done?
Oh, that's a good question. Well,
because I don't think I ever really asked you that, have I? I mean, I feel like...
I was an NBC page, so I was thinking about television. I did that 18-month program.
You were at NBC probably when I was at ABC in my internship. And by the way, Andy was at CBS.
The reality is, and seriously,
I was just
I am where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
It really is. And this is a tradition in my family that is very unique. There's a story that is not often told anymore. It's 86 years, it's 4 generations. So like my great-grandfather was in this room, my grandfather, my dad, me, we're really proud of it. I might not be Italian because of why? Because I like medium rare, but I like to pick off your plate.
I know, that's very
Not
Italian. Oh my God, so good.
We're in that. People don't know.
It's so good.
That the chicken parm and the veal parm was beyond one of the best things that we do at the Palm. You know how we became a steakhouse, don't you?
I don't.
All right, so
Well,
we
now
were
I
an Italian
gotta know.
restaurant in the 20s, late 20s, and through the 30s. All these newspaper men worked around here at the time. Second Avenue was like booming, 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 and it was all newspaper guys. They'd come in here, they wanted a steak, and my great-grandfather and Mr. Gansey would run up to the butcher, which I love, a butcher.
I know.
You get your steak
Old
at the
school.
butcher, and they'd bring it, and over time, we became a steakhouse. The cartoonists that worked for these newspapers couldn't afford to pay for their meals, so my great-grandfather and Mr. Gansey said, don't worry about it, draw on the walls. And they really drew caricatures.
that how
and you
that
can see the
happened?
caricatures here because it evolved into like people didn't want like big noses and big
Yeah,
ears. They wanted to be
yeah.
pretty. Second restaurant we opened was in Washington, D.C. in 1972.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In the
Okay.
40s and the 50s, my grandfather and Walter Gansey ran the business. George Bush Sr. was an ambassador. The UN is 2 blocks away. And he said, I'm going to D.C., the restaurants stink, can you open a Palm in D.C.?
Wait, George Bush Sr., who later became president.
Bush. You are drinking an incredible 2008 Chateau Ste. Michelle, which, you know, is great with chicken, it's great with veal, it's great with fish. It's very,
Right.
you know, light. It cuts through the acid of the tomato sauce. It's good.
I like white wine. I like good white wine.
Right. I'm drinking this great red wine, which is a Marchesi Antinori Chianti 2006, and it's really full-bodied and really, you know, it helps cut the fat of the steak. It's smooth. It really is a very smooth red.
This is to family and to friendships and the longevity of both.
That is beautiful. Thank you. Well, Carole, thank you very much for joining me today.
That's great.
Please join me for another episode of Lunch with Bruce Bozzi, and come visit a Palm near you soon. And we look forward to making our Palm your home away from home. Thank you again. And you, thank you.